Hey everybody, welcome back to the Hit.Or.Die podcast with your hosts Jake Saldati and Chad Rothford. And just want to say happy 4 years.
4 years.
4 years.
4 years.
Was July 2nd, 4-year mark.
It's crazy.
Then, you know, it's kind of, it's the way it should be. You know, you celebrate Hit or Die and you celebrate America. You know, it goes hand in hand. Every year, Hit or Die in America. So.
Yeah, you can't. We'll never forget the date. You know,
No,
it's too close to 4th of July. I hope everybody had a happy 4th.
safe
4th. You went on a nice little trip there to the coast. Is why we've been away for a minute.
Yeah, we snuck out of town, which was nice. I love going to the beach. I didn't really I liked it as a kid, but I didn't like it in my early adult life.
Okay.
Like, cause I'm not big on
like pre-kids.
Yeah, pre-kids. I'm not big on sand. You know, I'm just not a sand person, like, cause it gets places and it's not fun.
You never know when.
You know, and then he's just watching. I got Tweedledee and Tweedledum here. See my son CJ and my just making fun of our hand motions. My daughter, but it's fun now with the kids. They go and, you know, he boogie boarded this week or this time, and it was awesome, and we had fun. And my brother lives there, so
It was nice too. I mean, the weather with it starting where we're at. I don't know where everybody listens from, but it's getting hot.
it's
Like Monday morning, I went to the driving range, hit some golf balls with my son, and it was 8 a.m. And like I was like, this already sucks.
yeah.
We've had kind of a cool summer thus far, so it's been
Nice.
It's been nice, and this heat coming in I'm not ready for it.
Although it was nice yesterday.
It wasn't too bad at all. No, not at all. Again, hopefully everybody had a happy 4th, safe 4th. And I don't know, I've never noticed it before, but this year I saw a lot of stuff, which I don't really care about, but I guess we could just follow the train that everybody else has discussed on the condiments that they put on their hot dogs. Did you see?
No.
I saw it everywhere. Like, I don't really care. I don't know if you have a particular way.
There's only one. It's either plain
Okay.
or cheese.
You don't put mustard or ketchup
Nope.
on anything?
No.
Really?
I only have ketchup on French fries.
You're not like a relish.
No. Don't eat pickles.
Okay.
I don't eat mustard. Don't eat mayonnaise.
Sauerkraut's the one.
Don't eat salad dressing. Sauerkraut, no. Like, my salads are dry. Like, sweet tomatoes, I'll tear up a sweet tomato salad. But it's lettuce, cheese, bacon bits, black olives.
Dry. Nothing.
Dry. No sauce.
Interesting. I couldn't do that. So the other thing I saw was was Bustin' with the Boys had a clip with Josh Allen, and they were talking about blue cheese versus ranch.
Both are gross to me.
What?
Yeah.
This stuff I don't know about you.
But I love Cool Ranch chips.
Yeah. But like ranch with your pizza, you're not?
I love ranch seeds.
Okay.
I will not eat ranch dressing.
No ranch on your pizza?
Nope. Nothing.
Interesting.
No blue cheese either.
Like chicken wings?
Nope.
At Doghouse with some French fries?
Nope. Never.
I'm kind of shocked by this. I didn't know this.
No.
So you don't care? They're both gross.
Yes, to me, they're both
Okay.
gross.
All right.
Like when CJ gets his ranch at McDonald's for his nuggets, if I get it on my finger, I freak out. Like, I try to open it. Like, I'll never open a ranch with my mouth. I'll open a barbecue sauce with my mouth, but not, and I'll get it on my finger, and I'll be like, give me a napkin.
If the audience had questions about you before, they certainly have, or didn't have them, they have them now. That's I did plain hot dog or cheese, and neither ranch,
melted cheese. I mean, I'll tear up some Wiener Schnitzel.
Okay, yeah,
I'll do chili cheese dogs all day.
All right, I just kind of random. I didn't.
Dude, have you ever?
No,
I eat hot.
Out of all the times we barbecued, I've never paid attention.
You've never paid attention.
No,
and my burgers are plain.
See, I didn't pay attention.
Sometimes I will
like no mayonnaise or
nope. If the burger is not juicy and it's a little dry, I will put ketchup on it.
Okay. Maybe condiment wars is an actual thing.
Yeah.
Because people get a little excited about what other people put on their shit. And I'm like, whoa.
And I never ate ketchup.
It's not that it's not a divisive thing.
No, and I never ate ketchup until I was in like college. Ever.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's like The Martian when he runs out of ketchup for his potatoes and he's when he crushed Vicodin. I mean, I don't know. For the store, or no, for 4th of July, we decided to pop up a store for some Hit.Or.Die merch.
We've been asked for a while now.
Well, because it's been like a year.
At least.
It's been a minute since we've had anything for people to get stuff. And that's our bad. We decided to throw up a few things. Really only one new kind of logo. The American flag stuff, again, obviously to celebrate the 4th of July. The golf hat here is the first time we've done this. They're pretty sweet. They came out great. And I think we're only limited on the actual, it's a rubber patch if you can't notice or can't tell, or you couldn't tell. I saw the website picture's kind of funky. So, but it's,
it wasn't set up like this.
No. So the rubber patches we've had made for a while and, thought they looked good on these. And
we had them on our last store.
Did we have them on there? Yeah. I don't remember. So they are limited as quantity goes. So make sure you get one.
First come, first serve.
Yeah, there'll be a link in the description to the store. It will be closing July 9th by midnight. Again, there's the Badger lightweight short sleeve hoodies and long sleeve. There's some cotton tees. There's dry fit tees, some shorts. I'm working on changing the shorts only because I noticed today it said no pockets. I should have noticed that prior. But anyways,
they will have pockets.
Yeah, check out the store. I'll get that changed. But check out the store again. Links in the description. We appreciate everybody that goes and supports it. I know some people have already said everything American flag they're going to go get, which is cool.
We do have a surprise. We're supposed to have another hat.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to that either.
For our Hod Nation out there. It's for you guys. We're working on it. It's going to be.
Do you want to tell them kind of the style? It's for a certain fan, I think. It's for everybody.
Yeah.
But it's going to resemble maybe something. I don't know. The first thing I saw, I
was
thought
Oakland Raiders.
Oakland Raiders.
But I mean, every NFL team did that.
Las Vegas Raiders, whatever.
You'll like it. It's new. We like the design. It's the only thing we've ever kind of like copied of somebody.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, we've had
it's still a cool logo.
The MLB, this logo is kind of like the MLB.
They copied us.
Style.
So,
but other than that, yeah.
We sued them first. But no, we have a Hod Nation hat that should be coming out. If not with this store, we might do it by itself.
Yeah. We may just reopen. Hats only.
Yeah.
We'll see how this thing goes. But yeah, please, it's another way to support the podcast. Helps us out. Check out the store. And if you have any questions, you can also hit us up on our social medias. Follow at Hit.Or.Die Podcast on Twitter, at Hit.Or.Die Instagram, also on TikTok. And be sure to subscribe if you're watching here on YouTube. It's a lot of stuff's happened the last couple weeks since we've been away. The College World Series wrapped up, and the LSU Tigers are your national champions. Before we dive into some of the College World Series, I asked you right before we started, because we haven't talked much since. I mean, you went out of town. Mm-hmm. I had shit going on. Have you been watching really any baseball?
The last game I watched was the LSU Wake Forest game.
So the one that get into the final series, which was a fantastic game. You picked a good one to watch.
Yeah, it was great.
I believe I'm not assuming. I know you were going for Wake Forest, as was I. I picked Wake Forest to get there and win. That didn't happen. But other than that, haven't watched.
I did not watch
the final three.
I actually, it's stupid. I watched one pitch of the final series.
Which game was it?
It was the last game. Or no, it was the walk-off. Was that the last game?
No, the walk. It wasn't a walk-off. The go-ahead home run was game one.
Oh no, that was Wake Forest.
Wake Forest was the walk-off.
That was the last pitch I saw.
You were done with it.
I wasn't home to watch it, and I turned it on right when Slappy McGee hit the walk-off homer.
Mr. Tommy White, Tommy Tanks.
Yeah, too many necklaces.
You know, I gotta say, I don't know. We don't have to wait for it. We can just talk about it. Like, I understand the transfer stuff's irritating, but I don't want to take it away from the guy's abilities. like watching some of his at bats, dude. He had some really grinding at bats where he really worked 2 strikes, and then he got a mistake that he made the pitcher. Like, I mean, he really had some impressive at bats. And while I didn't want LSU to win, and that's just because they, like you said, I don't think you said it on the podcast privately. They're kind of last year's Tennessee, as far as that little out there, a little maybe too confident for some people. They don't like that. And listen, LSU is known for that kind of stuff. Their fan base, especially, probably you could say brutal winners and yet just as bad losers. I don't know. I know a couple LSU fans. That's why I say that. I did want to say congratulations to Riley Cooper. He's a pitcher on that LSU staff, a local product here out of Clovis North High School. And Kingsburg, went to Arizona, followed Coach Johnson over to LSU. And, man, he was fantastic, honestly. Pitched really well for LSU, 3 saves and a win. Didn't make the all-tourney team, which just blows my mind. But congrats to him. Really good showing. It was clutch for them, and they needed him. So game 1 was kind of the game that people thought they were going to get for a whole series. Extra innings. LSU got a go-ahead home run in the top of the 10th, I believe it was, and held on and won 4-3. And then game 2 was just kind of a shit show. It was an offensive display by Florida. And then kind of the opposite game 3. LSU, smashed on in Florida. And I was thinking, like, LSU played well during the day. And I don't know if there's anything to that.
You mean Florida?
Florida played better during day games than they did the night games I watched, and especially in the final 3. Game 1, obviously it was anybody's game, goes extras, they lose. And then I was thinking, and maybe it's just me being stupid. Superstitious. I don't know. It just seems like I go, if the game 3 is during the day, I like Florida's shot. It being a night game, and they didn't pitch well. Like, it was an ass kicking. Let's be honest. I think the final for game 3 was 18-4, and LSU is your national champion. I will say this: I've been, and I don't know if you have. We were in the dugout, I think, twice for situations like that where, LSU is down. I think Florida scored first in that game 3. It was like 2-0, and they just struggled to throw strikes.
Wasn't that the Caglione too?
Yeah. A lot of walks, some hit batters, just kind of ugly, and it got away early. And you can't do that to that LSU lineup. And I just was thinking, watching O'Sullivan in the dugout, like, dude, I've had a few games during the playoffs where you're watching your season end, and it's over before it's over.
Yeah.
And I know you got to get all the outs. Listen, I'm not, but when you just know the momentum is not, you're chasing 11 runs or 12, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. Like, it's tough.
Yeah.
I think we had it in the playoffs versus Hanford here one year, or it was Tehachapi.
Tehachapi
at Fresno City, and they just first pitched the game. It was like, oh shit! I hope our guys are ready for a dogfight. And that game was, essentially it was over by like the 3rd or 4th inning. And I think we had that with Hanford at home one year, where a couple, whether you like it or not, wind-aided home runs, grand slam here, and it's 9-0 after 3, and it's like, what the fuck do you do?
Yeah,
you kind of just got to keep playing and trying to get outs and chip away and keep encouraging your guys. But it's hard to be in the dugout in that type of game. Have you ever done that as a player? Like, as your season end? I know as a coach we've done it. My last game was that in high school, was Clovis High, like, just boat racing us.
Really? I don't know. I can't think of anything getting boat raced like that. I think the only one I could really think of, maybe I was gonna say regionals my senior year, but like we came off an 1.5 hour rain delay, and I think we all forgot that there was only like 2 innings left, and like boom boom, like we're back in the dugout. The inning.
Oh,
like,
dude, and that's how it finished.
The game ended like super quick after an 1.5 hour rain delay. But I can't remember just getting smashed to end the season.
Yeah,
I can as a coach.
Been in that dugout for those situations now more than I've actually thought about, more than I've liked.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's tough to sit there and watch.
No, wait, sorry. City College, my last game against Santa Rosa, we lost 13-2 or 13-1 or 13-2. And that was, yeah. My last at bat, I got a hit. I was at first. They brought Projozo out, my pinch runner. We did our little handshake. And then by the time I got the dugout, I lost it.
Yeah.
I lost it when Coach Scott shook my hand, and then some of my boys grabbed me, and like it was over. It was like I couldn't believe it. Final Four, and I'll never hear the end of that. My roommate in college was on that team.
Of course. Well, speaking of your alumni, ORU had a great showing, man. I know, and they had a couple videos where they would post their post game, and Coach Fulmer was awesome to hear talk, by the way. Not how they wanted it to end, but they showed they belonged, I thought. I thought, the thing we talked about was pitching for them, and it kind of reared its head there, as they got deeper and coming out of losers bracket's hard. And that's where LSU, it's not like they were handed a national title. I know they have some big name transfers, but they still had to go win games, come out of the losers bracket, beat a very tough Wake Forest team. Wake Forest on the mound was super impressive.
Yeah.
And they had their opportunities to win. Safety squeeze that was kind of bunted right to the first baseman. Would have won the game. Or I think taking the lead. I think they were the visitor, but still. It was a great World Series. It's always a great event. ORU, I think some people are now supporters of your alma mater, especially around here. And again, congrats to LSU. Congrats to Riley Cooper. Now, there was something that we tweeted on, you tweeted, I think you retweeted it. It was Johnson's press conference, and I don't know if it was after Wake Forest win. I think it was to go to the series. Mm-hmm. And I didn't see it until the next day. And I saw that, I saw you'd retweeted it. For those that didn't see it, it kind of just, a lot of it was positive. I was like, what's wrong with this? I'm watching it and I'm thinking, okay, he's giving Wake Forest their love and their due and their kudos. And as he should have, thought it was, first class what he was saying. And then then he brought up the transfer portal, and if you're the best player in the transfer portal, you now know where to go. And some people really don't give a shit or didn't. Some people that, messaged or even commented on the retweet or even just other platforms that talked about it weren't so much a big fan. I haven't talked to OV or anybody else about that, but you retweeted it for a reason. What was your take on it when you first let it sink in? What was the reason that you thought it was a problem? Your take. And I know
I just thought it was the wrong place for recruiting, any kind of recruiting, anything. He shouldn't have said anything about players it's not about the transfer portal. It's not about any of that. It's about your players now at LSU, and you just beat Wake Forest.
And now you've got a chance to win a national title.
I mean, it's even if he was like, yeah, and we have our camps coming up in 2 weeks, it would have been the same thing. Like, what are you doing?
Nobody cares about
it. It has nothing to do with just because he did the transfer portal. If he would have said that, I would have been like,
well, it's not like nationally nobody's going to LSU for a camp. I'm not taking my kid from Cali to, you know what I'm saying?
You never know.
Well, no, but I get what
you're saying. If you're a millionaire, you might.
Maybe. Was it the timing of it? What
are you doing?
It's not the substance of saying.
And the way he said it.
The best transfer player or transfer portal player.
His manner, he bugs me already. And just the way he said it was like, we're just better than you. And this is why. And I have a problem with that, especially as a coach. And I think you can agree with me is we coach to develop, to teach, to help guys move on to the next level. We don't coach just to buy players that are good so we can go out and win. And I just have to write a lineup.
Well, we kind of talked about that a little bit with Ovi. Like, how much coaching do you really got to do when you get the best from everyone else?
I'm sorry, I could have wrote that lineup.
Yeah, well, yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't know.
Skeens Friday night? No, wait, let me rethink that.
It's easy.
You know what I mean? Dylan Cruz, Tyler White, or what is it, Tyler White? I don't know what his name is. I also found out.
Tommy Tanks.
I found out what he got.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I mean.
And it's a really good source.
It's hard to look past some of that stuff, man. And I mean, as a player now, like I don't even want to. It is what it is. Like there's our comments and thoughts about what happened last year into this year doesn't matter. I think when you make a comment like that, though, you know, you still have players on your roster, kids that redshirted maybe, and you know they're
well. Not only that, there's been people say that he has been the guy to recruit players not in the portal yet.
I mean, I've heard that.
So
I mean, I'm obviously stuff we can't.
And he's not the only one.
Of course not. Of course
I've heard a lot of coaches.
And I'm sure it's not the only one in baseball. Like it's, you know what I mean? Like I don't know, man. You have kids signing to come in, and you have kids that you already on the roster that are red shirts or guys that are, I don't know, committed, that put in the work, did the offs. You know what I mean? That they're not going to run from the competition side of it, but it's, you know, it's like, well, fuck. What do you think of me then?
Yeah.
Like if you're out there, and I get it, you got to recruit the portal now. You know, it is what it is. Yeah. Like I said, it is what it is. It's the way baseball is now. This is the way college baseball is.
Why would I want to go play pro ball?
When I'm thinking like, why, like, wait till it's over to maybe say something like that.
Yeah.
Win or lose. Like,
that shouldn't even be a thought though. Like you already have everybody information in the portal. You could send a max text to everybody in the portal. You don't have to say it on national television. It just makes you look bad.
Well, and that's what a lot of people said. And then like I saw a lot of comments.
It literally makes you like everybody want you to lose because of what you just said. Like this is the reason why we're winning.
Yeah, and it's hard because I don't want to base my decisions on why kids left, whether it was for money or whatever, because I think Skeens and White, the kid that pitched game 3 is a transfer from UCLA. You know, but I mean, without those guys, is LSU at home watching the College World Series?
Yeah.
Who knows? You know, maybe they are.
I mean, I'd go as far as this, and this is where, because people just think I talk, you know, shit on whatever. ORU wouldn't have been where they were without the portal.
Right.
And that's just 100%.
And that's
honesty.
your alumni.
Yeah, that's just it's honest. So, and that's why. But I'm not. I would expect that more from a mid-major school that can't get the top.
Well, and
recruits,
they're not getting the same transfers. Let's be clear too. Like,
no,
those were, you know, Skeens and White are.
They're not going to ORU.
No.
Because there's no deal. ORU's just getting the portal guys that just want to go play, and that's their last shot. Yeah, you know, and they just happen to be guys that might have gone to a Power 5 school or something.
I just don't know how, if I was on that roster, you know, why do you need to say that now?
Yeah,
like I don't know.
I don't either.
Maybe they don't care.
But maybe that's how he is.
The kids just want to win.
Maybe
they don't care if they play or not. They win.
He's just that cocky dude that just.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know much about him.
I've heard mixed things.
I have too. I mean, but that's all I have to base things on. So I don't like doing that with people I don't know. No. So it's you know.
He's more than welcome to come on the show.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's just I remember, you know, just reading some of the things that people said, and you know, for the most part, what I read was, you know, a lot of negative stuff. People weren't a fan of that. And, you know, again, how it reflects current players on your roster, how it reflects players that you are asking to commit to your program, yet you're going to take in the kids that weren't committed elsewhere. Well, now it's just to win.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not. So let's not do commitment posts anymore. I think now with the portal as bad as it is, like we need to just stop with I'm committed to so-and-so for university. Why
don't you do it after your 4 years of college?
I
was committed.
Or just say, hey, I'm going to start my college career at so-and-so.
Yeah.
Let's not say I'm committed now. Let's stop doing that. Like, dude, even like some of the guys that have left and went there, their commitment posts to where they originally went are still posted. Like, take that shit down. Right? You shouldn't have that up anymore. Well, if you said in high school
but people are going to be like, they're proud of that. They're proud they committed somewhere. Well,
but that's not a commitment. When you leave, you're no longer committed.
I mean, if I ever got divorced to my wife, I probably wouldn't have pictures of her all over my social media.
Yeah,
or,
this is you know, and the new one,
because my commitment to that's not
and
no
the new
longer
wife
there.
and new family and
no,
you know, I don't know. It's just kind of weird to see that. And then, you know, the other thing that happened in during the I don't know which game it was. It was a momentum changer. It might have been the first game of the final series. That 45-foot rule and an interference call with a runner, literally nowhere to go with a base in fair territory called out. And I think I saw it within the major leagues the other night. Or I think David Ross tried to argue it recently. And that's kind of, is it discretion? Is it umpire discretion?
I guess. I don't even know.
Out of all the rules, and we've harped on this for the last 4 years, that one there's no reason for it anymore.
Or with all these rule changes, put a side base.
Yes.
And make the runner running to first base only touch that base.
I don't see how you can call a guy out when he's running to a base that's in fair territory.
Which is inside the baseline.
But you want him to run outside.
And then touch the bag on the inside.
It's just dumb.
It is. It's a stupid rule. Now, if he's on the grass, okay. But if he's on the dirt running down the line, that call shouldn't be called.
Agreed. I've noticed the umpiring, the zones. The zones have been bad, like big bad. And I know you noticed in the College World Series.
There's a Twitter account with that posts
has the scorecards.
Every scorecard of the umpires, and they've been really bad.
Like I was a kind of initially when you talk about robo umpires, and even just being able to challenge, not so much the robo umpire, but having the player the option to challenge the strike.
I'm almost for it now.
I am too.
With how bad it's been.
I am
and
too.
They did that. There was a video of it the other night in AAA or something. The guy went like this. It took literally like 5 seconds.
If that.
Yeah.
If that.
Because the guy just turned, said challenge. Okay, I got the call. No.
And it was a strike that turned into, it was a ball. It turned into a base runner.
Yeah.
Like, we're there. It's affecting games.
Yeah.
I saw it in the big leagues last night. I'm like, man, that was a big situation where it was the Angels and the Padres. The Padres were shit in the bed. They let the Angels creep back in. It was ugly. And there was a couple borderline pitches that were balls that were called strikes that affected maybe a little more a rally from the Angels. It was 8-1 going to the ninth. It ended up like 8-5. Bases loaded.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking a couple of those pitches were balls that got called strikes, and it changed the at-bats. And I'm like, man, this might be here sooner than we think.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'm not entirely against it. I don't know if I want robo umpires.
No, I like the challenge better.
But like these guys,
if it's going to be that quick, I'm okay with that.
You know, and I saw another stat regarding the length of games, and they were saying the percentage of 3-hour plus games went down from like 40. It was like in the 50% of games every year.
Yeah.
We're averaging 3 hours. I think they said 13%. So it's the speed of the game is massively different, which maybe it's a good thing. It's not necessarily bothering me when I'm watching the big league games. But just I've noticed the zones have been brutal. So we'll see. We'll see if this makes its way into the big leagues. I don't know what level. I saw the same video you were talking about. I don't know what level that was.
I would think AAA. I think AAA is the one that has all that stuff.
And then I don't know if you saw Gamboa back up in the AAA.
Yep.
Local product guy we coached. Has been on here a few times. A good friend of the show and us just personally. Alec Gamboa with the Dodgers organization is now in Oklahoma City. And as far as I've been told, they're probably not going back down. So that's pretty freaking awesome. Might see him.
Yeah, I talked to Mark Pryor the other day. He's the pitching coach for the Dodgers, the big leagues. And yeah, he said he's there to stay.
Was he a Trojan?
He was.
He was a Trojan, huh?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And a Cub, right?
And a Cub.
Guy was a freaking animal.
No, yes,
he was with the Cub. Yeah.
Trojan.
So he's I mean, knocking on the doorstep, which is pretty awesome. As is, Walden still up there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Dylan is off his IL stint. Dylan Lee with the Braves, and I think Loop is still
in
Buffalo. So just trying to keep track of all the guys.
Eastman, I guess, is in AAA.
Yeah. With was that with Philly? Wasn't he with?
No. Who's he with?
It wasn't Lehigh?
No, because he was in Las Vegas.
I think you're right. I thought he was.
That?
He pitched against
Walden,
which is crazy. Why?
Yeah.
I mean, did we bring that up?
Yep,
we did.
We talked about it.
I don't remember.
Walden got the notice.
I think I saw Wins catching with Colorado.
Is he with the Rockies now?
I believe he is. I'm pretty sure it was him. There's guys everywhere.
Yeah.
Taylor Ward still. Is Lambert still up with Chicago? I don't know.
Honestly, I'm off on the big league stuff.
I got to do a better job of the research. But still, like I said, Gambo is just another guy on the doorstep, another local product. It's pretty awesome. And then the draft is coming, right? The draft is
this weekend.
We got the All Star game, Home Run Derby, draft. I think it's all jam-packed weekend. But I saw something interesting on the draft, and it was from Perfect Game. I saw it on Twitter.
Oh God!
But did you see that?
Yeah.
It was Max.
Which is a high school. It's a high school. Perfect Game's a high school thing.
It was Max Clark as the number one. This is for Perfect Game.
Yeah.
As the number one overall picked, and then I think it was pick. Sorry,
It's Skeens and Cruz.
Was it Skeens and then Cruz?
Yeah.
And I was just kind of blown away by that. Not that Clark isn't an animal.
No.
The dude's a freaking beast. But, and I think Pat Ware tweeted this, like, you have an ace now. You have a guy who just proved it, right? I don't know who Max Clark's played. I don't know the competition he's seen at his high school. I don't know how good the league is. I have no clue. That doesn't take away from he's a talented player and going to get selected. But I'm not. I'm going. I mean, I like Dylan Cruz a lot, man.
Yeah, I mean, Skeens is right now. Like, you draft him, he can probably pitch by the end of the year. But since he was a starter, had a lot of innings,
right.
I don't know if he'd get up there this year.
Kind of chill back on that investment a little bit.
Yeah. But I like Dylan too. I think they're 1-2. I think that's 1-2. I don't even think Max Clark's. They're talking about some shortstop out of somewhere that's the top-rated high school player. I think Max Clark's actually gone down in the rankings lately, from what I've seen.
But like, what does that even mean? Who cares?
I don't know.
Like, I know we're not
Instead
fans
of
of that.
$2 million, you get 1.5.
I'm saying that's where that matters, but the ranking part of it, like, fuck it.
Yeah, all that matters is what's going on in the war room in each clubhouse. So it's just all that stuff means it's just like rankings in high school that we talk about. They mean nothing because we don't have a choice. We don't have a say in it. All that matters is what CIF thinks. So
like, I'm not going to take Perfect Game's word for it, I guess, or any other, whether it's
and
PBR guy,
and I guarantee
anybody. I'm not taking any stock in rankings.
All those clubs probably just laughed at that, or when people try to do that. It's just Perfect Game trying to get something out there. And what are we doing? We're talking.
Well, that's
about
what I think it's what the comments were like. What did they pay? What was that?
And Max Clark's been there. Perfect Game.
He's the
face of the Perfect Game for the last 4 years. So
I just thought that was kind of odd to see that. Again, MLB is approaching halfway. We got the All Star game coming this weekend. You had a perfect game, the 24th from Domingo Germán versus the A's. Still impressive. It's a perfect game.
Yeah.
I know people. Some of my buddies like it was the A's. I'm like, well, it's still a big league. Like, nobody touched first base, man. Doesn't matter what team you're doing that against.
No,
it's not easy to do. So congrats there. Each division right now is fairly close, and I think I know people you get towards the postseason, you hear why the wild card sucks. They don't like the wild card, and it's like if you looked at it now, whether you're in the AL or the NL, you've got 7 or 8 teams that could get in the wild card. Like I posted something about biggest surprises as far as contenders go from teams that we don't see in contention ever. Was the Arizona Diamondbacks, Baltimore Orioles, Texas Rangers, and I think Miami Marlins what I had on the list. But I mean, Cincinnati was one that was brought up. That's a great point. Although the Central's pretty terrible, and I think they were even negative in run differential, but leading the division.
That's tough to do.
Same with San Fran, who just I think fell back down to third, like 4 back in the West, but still with a bunch of kind of no-name guys winning ball games and in contention to play for that wild card spot. I think that's where the wild card's great, because you've got, again, the Mets might be the biggest surprise in the negative side of this.
Yeah.
Right? Number one for me, 39-46. Their 26-man payroll, not their total payroll. This is just for this 26-man payroll. $261 million, which is first in Major League Baseball. That is the biggest, maybe disappointing team.
I think the Padres.
And the Padres, I think, were third in total payroll at 40-46, $199 million in their 26-man payroll. So that's third in Major League Baseball. Yeah, it's got to be though either one, really.
I mean, I just can't think like Bogarts, Tatis, the third baseman, Machado, like
you got Cronenworth.
I just can't think that.
And then you just signed Musgrove. Done. You've got Darvish. You got Hader in the back end.
Yeah, I don't know how they can lose that many games.
To be 6 games under 5, and I think in 4th in the West.
I mean, I just saw they designated Nelson Cruz for assignment, which I think is terrible. I'm a big Nelson Cruz fan.
Well, it's weird.
You're going to designate Machado for assignment?
No, because they're locked up.
I know.
Do you know what I mean?
That's who they it's not like he's the only one doing bad.
If the Phillies were also kind of in the mix for me. They spent a lot of money as well. In fact, I mean, their 26-man payroll is more. In fact, I think it was second. Their overall total is 4th, but their 26-man payroll is $215 million. And gosh, dude, they're dropping. I think they're third now in the division, but still like 8 or 9 games back. Or it's just kind of surprising to see the Phillies, the St. Louis.
Yeah.
St. Louis.
All the teams that made moves.
Yeah, that spent money.
Yeah.
Where and then you look at Miami. I didn't expect that. Arizona, are you shitting me?
Rangers.
Texas. But Texas spent some money, but maybe the manager is the difference. I mean, is Bochy the difference? Go ahead. You can.
I mean, his track record proves
you
that
went
he's
from
a difference.
Awful. And what they got DeGrom in the offseason? Who else did they get?
But DeGrom hasn't even pitched.
No. But I'm saying the other guys, Seager.
They had last year.
The lefty, the pitcher, I forget his name. The guy, Simeon over there now.
He was there last year.
So they went from not being real good to leading the division.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't.
With pretty much the same roster.
Yeah. Perez still was one of their best pitchers last year. He's kind of middle of the pack this year, but still leading the division. So maybe Bochy is the difference. Who knows? Again, the home run derby, I want to say is what? Monday the 10th. And that's night 2 of the draft. So the draft starts Sunday. And your T-Mobile home run derby in Seattle will be Monday, featuring the following: Pete Alonso.
Oh, they already named it?
Adley Rutschman, Randy Arozarena, Mookie Betts, Vlad Jr., and Julio Rodriguez. That's a tough pick. No, I got to go Pete Alonso.
Why is Mookie even in it?
I thought the same thing.
Why is Randy Arozarena in it? Like, this is I'm sorry. The home run derby is for big-ass donkeys to just try to hit the ball 700 feet. Like, I'm sorry. That's what I think of, like, the premier home run hitters. But I don't know. I'm taking Vlad or Alonso.
You're going to take 2 guys?
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see Rodriguez throw some numbers up, too. It's home ballpark.
He's gonna get tired.
You think so? I like Pete Alonso, so I'll pick one guy, and it'll be Pete. And we'll put a poll out there. We'll put the poll of who the people think's gonna win this year's home run derby. Again, we just getting back on the mics. A couple weeks off. Gonna have trying to get some guests lined up. Got a couple.
Isn't there normally 8 guys?
I thought so, but that was what the
I was
website.
just counting.
And maybe that's wrong. I don't know.
I don't know. That's a terrible home run
I
derby.
saw this June 3rd.
Sorry.
The article's from June 3rd. So they said.
MLB's just making it worse for me, man.
Well, you got Trout, who, I mean, he's not going to be in there. Judge is out. I think there's a couple. I'm not sure. I mean, he's up there too, though. And then I don't know what's going on with Ohtani. He came out with a blister, I believe.
Oh, I'm sure he did.
So I don't know if he's going to be able to compete in the All Star fun as either. So I don't know. Everybody's already talking about him, AL MVP, and passing Judge's records, and asking if he's going to break 62. And I'm thinking, it's halfway through the season. Let's not put that out there yet. He's on a good pace right now.
Yeah.
But if this holds him up for any length of time, I would say no now would be the answer. Which is why you don't get overly excited early, I think. So we'll see how all that stuff plays out. But again, some guests lining up here for the next couple weeks. Please check out the store, supporting the podcast. We appreciate all of it. At Hit.Or.Die Podcast on Twitter, at Hit.Or.Die on Instagram. Subscribe here on YouTube. And again, that's another episode of Hit.Or.Die Podcast.
Hit or Die.